Jackson Podcast.
You know, in this episode, I want to congratulate Kendrick Lamar for being named Billboard's top R&B and hip hop artist of the year. He had a phenomenal year from performing at the Super Bowl. In 2024, at the end of the year, he released GNX. You know, my favorite track off of that album was Dodger Blue. The Dodgers won the World Series. I was kind of tripping that he didn't perform this year at that World Series because that would have been dope also. But from helping Playboy Carti curate his album, which I think is one of the top 10 albums of 2025. It had 2 Kendrick Lamar features on it. It had people excited. The youth was extremely excited about that new Playboy Carti album. It was greatly produced. It had dope records on it. And, you know, it was all of that, to be honest with y'all. But he also contributed to the Clips album on one of those great songs, which is nominated for a Grammy. And Kendrick Lamar had a tough year, a tough year. But today I was listening to a podcast, right? And it had me thinking, and I don't want to make a competition between these two, but I want to give a perspective about these two. I was listening to a Club Shay Shay interview, and the Game was on there. And this is one of the best Game interviews I done seen probably ever. Shannon Sharp was asking some good questions, and it seemed like he had done his research to give a real good professional interview. And it may have been some shots thrown. Some people may assume these as shots, but to me, I feel like it's Game having confidence in himself. And this is what he said on the podcast. Let's go.
Kendrick mentioned you in the song Black Boy Fly.
Yeah.
But when to have your name mentioned in a song, what does that mean? Is that the ultimate sign of respect? Is that the ultimate validation?
Yeah, man. I think that for him to do that showed his early onset vulnerability, his adoration, respect, and appreciation for something that I got, got out the gate a little earlier than him on, and I'm appreciative, to the fact that he did that to this day.
Who's the best rapper on the West Coast today?
Game.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah, that's it.
Ain't nobody getting at you?
Can't nobody out-rap me, man. And anybody that knows will know. Because people can't, even if you are, like, no one can do what I can do. Like, no one has my skill set. Because not only do I have the ability to wrap circles around people, I'm also with all the bullshit, too, if it came down to that. So it's like, I'm the best rapper in this town.
Damn, Game. I mean, the OG, man, there's some OGs, some heavyweights. I mean, Cube, Snoop.
I love Cube, but Cube can't out-rap me. I love Cube. And by the way, the reason that Cube can't out-rap me is because I used Cube's legacy to help me sharpen.
Right.
I used Snoop's legacy to help me sharpen myself. I used Dr. Dre, NWA. So it's like, those guys came before me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Kobe, right? You know Kobe watched Mike growing up.
For sure,
right?
absolutely.
But
you see the way he walked? You see the way he chewed that gum?
Okay.
He got the wristband on his elbow?
Now, Mike, in Kobe's prime, Mike couldn't hold Kobe.
No.
But that's because he came before him and he done with it. Right. I'm not saying if I was in 1992 with Cube might be able to, go crazy.
Right.
But right now, like, nah, it's not a rapper on the West that's better than me.
You still.
Shannon Sharp messy with that setup question because he was making it like he should be thankful that Kendrick is even mentioning his name when he views himself just as good or better than Kendrick Lamar. And, my perspective ain't validated. I'm not a West Coast player. I'm from the South. But I do have a perspective. The Game has been in a multitude of beefs and he never lost. He held the West Coast down for probably a decade. Nipsey Hussle is a part of his story. You know what I'm saying? Game is part of Nipsey Hussle's story. He had beef with 50. He beefed with Meek Mill. He beefed with Joe Budden, Benny Siegel, Ja Rule, Eminem. And he may have not, a lot of those individuals may have not engaged back, but he never lost in a beef. I remember with that GU Not campaign, it was prolific. It was, something that against the whole G unit. He didn't take an L in that. 50 didn't destroy his career like he did Ja Rule because the Game was serious about his bars and his raps and those 100-bar verses and all of that. The Game is a a formidable opponent when it comes to beef. And if Kendrick Lamar step out of his shell against the game, he gonna have to come with it. But I feel like Kendrick Lamar will ignore him. Now, Kendrick Lamar has been in a beef with Drake. He did Drake dirty. Just to be honest with y'all, he did Drake dirty, but the game been in a multitude of beefs. I want to ask a question before I get into the article, and I'm done with this. Is it the backing of Dr. Dre, Interscope, the Jewish individuals that run the music industry that's pushing Kendrick Lamar to the forefront? If the game had that type of investment, would he still be as relevant as a Kendrick Lamar? Will he still be? Because at one time he had that backing and he was piped up, dropping 3.55 million records sold. The game got, to me, just as many classics as Kendrick Lamar. How many classic albums do y'all perceive Kendrick Lamar to have? And how many classic albums do y'all perceive the game to have? It's just an interesting conversation, and I would like to know y'all perspective on it in the comment section below. But let's get into the article so we can exalt Kendrick Lamar for what he did this year, even though numbers-wise, hip-hop was down in the Billboard charts this year as in sales and accessibility to making life-changing finances. Hip-hop was down this year, but Kendrick Lamar wasn't. So let's get into the article. Kendrick dominated the charts in 2025, mostly from his album GNX as well as his popular diss, Not Like Us. Billboard has named Kendrick Lamar the top R&B hip-hop artist of the year. It marks the first time in his career he has been honored with the title. The selection is determined by activity from the weekly top R&B hip-hop albums and hot R&B hip-hop songs. Charts dated October 26, 2024 through October 18, 2025. While Lamar didn't drop an album in 25, his 2024 project GNX continued to dominate the charts well after its release. GNX debuted at number 1 on the top charts, dated December the 7th of last year, and spent 7 weeks at the top. The week marked October the 11th, 2025 was the only time it fell outside of the top 10. Wow, that's 10 months at the top. Lamar held several of the most popular rap songs throughout the year as well, including the top track, which was his collaboration with SZA, Luther, on the top 10 list. That was followed by TV Off, Not Like Us, and Squabble Up. He also held the 9th spot with Peekaboo. While he dropped GNX in late 2024, he and SZA embarked on the Grand National Tour and promotion of the project in April of this year. The tour has been a massive success, with the two setting several records. They've also brought out a number of noteworthy guests, including AZ Chick, Baby Kim, Doja Cat, Justin Bieber, Katronda, Lizzo, and Playboi Carti. He also performed at the Super Bowl, the halftime show. He implemented several shots at Drake into the performance, as it was widely seen as a climactic end to their battle. He performed Not Like Us, Luther, TV Off, and more hits. Despite GNX dominance, it ended the year at number 2 on the top R&B hip-hop album charts for 2025. Instead of SZA's SOS finished at the top project with the help of its deluxe, previously finished as top project in 2023. So let me say something. I feel like Kendrick took a chance on himself by performing some brand new songs at the Super Bowl off of his brand new album. I don't know nobody that's ever done that. Like, most of the time when people perform songs off of a new album, off of a Super Bowl or whatever, it be 10, 15-year-old songs. It don't be fresh music that the world don't even know. He performed fresh music. He did some prolific features this year. I feel like he's going to win the Grammy for Album of the Year, but I believe it should go to Clips. That's just my perspective of it. I'm looking forward to what he's doing when he releases something new, but I feel like he's going to take some time away. And to be honest with you, when you take time away, it gives your audience and your people time to want you more. That's something that Drake didn't do when he came off a tour. He kept rapping, kept dropping, and the people didn't miss him. you got to make your people miss you. And I feel like that's something that Kendrick Lamar is going to do. He's going to take a step back for a moment and get into a creative space and drop some more great music. But what a hell of a year for K-Dot. Salute to K-Dot. Salute to the game. Salute to the West Coast, man. You know, y'all the best coast. Real talk. But in closing, I want to say, what's y'all thoughts, though? Who is the best artist between the game and Kendrick Lamar? Because I got my own takes in that. Appreciate y'all tuning in to my show. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit the hype button to help me trigger the algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Peace, love, plenty of abundance. Make sure you go get you some money. And I'm gone. Chill.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.